My beloved child, before you scroll, before you ignore this message, understand this. What you are about to hear is not random, it is not coincidence, and it is definitely not meant for everyone. This message found you because something hidden is already unfolding behind your back, something you were never supposed to notice this early, and yet here you are, feeling that strange discomfort in your chest, that silent whisper in your mind telling you that something is off, something is not right, and you can't explain it, you can't prove it, but you feel it deeply, and that feeling is real. Because right now, as you breathe, as you sit there reading this, there is someone close enough to know your story, close enough to know your dreams, your plans, your future steps. And they are not celebrating you, they are not protecting you, they are not supporting you. They are discussing you, analyzing you, and quietly speaking about your future behind your back, not with love, but with intention you would never expect, and the most dangerous part is, this person is not a stranger, this is not some obvious enemy, this is someone who has smiled in front of you, someone who has listened to you, someone who has gained your trust piece by piece, slowly, carefully, until you let your guard down, until you opened your heart just enough for them to see what truly matters to you, and now they are using that knowledge in ways you cannot see yet, and that is why this message had to reach you now, not later, not after damage is done, but right now, because the signs have already begun appearing in your life, small things at first, things you brushed off, moments where you felt misunderstood, situations where your plans suddenly didn't go as expected, conversations that felt slightly off. Like something was missing or something was being hidden from you, and you told yourself it's nothing, you told yourself you are overthinking, but deep inside, your soul knew, your spirit recognized the shift, because energy never lies, and the energy around you has changed, there is a hidden tension, an unseen resistance, as if something is working quietly against your path. And you couldn't see the source, you couldn't understand why things felt heavier, why your motivation dropped at times, why certain opportunities slipped away at the last moment, but now you are starting to realize. It was never random, it was never just bad luck, there has been influence, subtle but real, coming from someone who should not have access to your future. Someone who is speaking about things you trusted them with, someone who is shaping narratives about you when you are not present, planting doubts in places you cannot reach, and you may be asking yourself, why? Why would someone do this? Why would someone pretend to care and then act against you in silence? And the truth is not comfortable. The truth is that not everyone who smiles at you is aligned with you. Not everyone who listens to you is supporting you. Some people listen to gather information. Some people stay close to understand your next move. And some people stay near you because your light exposes their darkness, because your growth reminds them of their stagnation, because your potential threatens the limitations they have accepted for themselves, and instead of rising with you, they choose to pull you down quietly. Not openly, not directly, but in whispers, in conversations you will never hear, in opinions shared when you are not around, and those words, those hidden conversations, they carry energy, they create influence, they shape how others perceive you, they create invisible barriers that you then feel in your real life without knowing where they came from. And this is why you started feeling confused, because nothing made sense on the surface, everything looked normal, but inside, something felt wrong, and now the truth is unfolding, now you are beginning to see that not everyone in your circle deserves access to your inner world. Not everyone deserves to know your next step, your next plan, your next dream, because information in the wrong hands becomes a weapon, and you have been unknowingly handing your power to someone who does not value it, someone who does not protect it, someone who uses it in silence. And listen carefully. This is not meant to make you fearful, this is meant to make you aware, because awareness is your protection, awareness is your power, and the moment you see clearly, the moment you recognize the hidden enemy, their influence begins to weaken, their access begins to close, and their ability to affect your path starts fading away, because they were only powerful when you were unaware. They were only effective when you were open without boundaries, but now things are changing. Now you are stepping into a different level of understanding, a different level of protection, and this is where your strength begins, not in confronting them aggressively, not in exposing everything at once, but in becoming silent, observant, and intentional, in watching who speaks, who listens, who reacts, who shifts when you stop sharing, because the truth always reveals itself when you create space, when you pull back your energy, when you stop feeding information. Those who relied on your openness will begin to show discomfort. They will try to pull you back into old patterns. They will ask more questions. They will act curious. But now you will see differently. Now you will hear what is not being said. Now you will notice the subtle changes in behavior. And this is how you regain control. This is how you protect your future, not by fear, but by awareness and wisdom, because your future is not something to be discussed in hidden conversations. Your future is something sacred, something that requires protection, focus, and alignment. And you have been chosen to realize this now because you are stepping into something bigger. Something that not everyone around you is meant to be part of, and that is the hardest truth to accept. Not everyone who started with you will continue with you. Not everyone who was present in your past deserves a place in your future, and this hidden enemy. They are part of that lesson, they are part of that separation, they are part of that awakening that is pushing you to become more selective, more aware, more powerful in your silence, and as painful as it may feel to accept that someone close is not truly aligned with you, understand this. It is better to see the truth now than to be blindsided later. It is better to recognize the hidden enemy before they cause irreversible damage, and this message is your early warning. This is your moment to adjust, to protect, to realign, to move differently, to trust your intuition more than ever before, because your intuition has been speaking to you. It has been guiding you. It has been trying to show you the truth in subtle ways, and now you can no longer ignore it. Now you can no longer pretend everything is fine. Now you must act with awareness, with intention, with clarity, because your future depends on it, your growth depends on it, your peace depends on it, and the moment you start protecting your energy, the moment you start choosing who gets access to your inner world, everything begins to shift, the confusion starts fading, the heaviness begins lifting, and you will notice something powerful. The same person who once had influence will begin to lose their power completely, because they were never strong on their own, they were only strong because of what you shared, and now that you are reclaiming that, now that you are becoming aware, now that you are stepping into your power, their role in your life begins to end, quietly, naturally, without chaos, without drama, just a slow and undeniable separation that aligns you with what is truly meant for you, and this is not loss. This is protection, this is not betrayal. This is revelation. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a new level of awareness, strength, and control over your own life, and from this moment forward, you will move differently, you will speak less but observe more, you will trust actions over words, you will protect your plans until they are ready to manifest, and you will understand that not everyone deserves to know your future before it becomes your reality, because your future is not for discussion. It is for creation, and now. You are ready to create it without interference, without hidden enemies, without silent resistance, because you have seen the truth, and once you see the truth, you can never be controlled by lies again. My beloved child. Now listen even deeper, because what you are about to understand will change the way you see people forever. It will change how you move, how you trust, how you protect your energy, because the truth is, the hidden enemy we spoke about is not acting randomly. They are not just casually talking about you. There is a pattern, there is a strategy, there is a silent intention behind everything they do, and once you see this pattern clearly, you will never fall into the same trap again, because right now this person is doing something very specific. They are watching your reactions, they are testing your awareness, they are observing how much you know and how much you don't, and they add just their behavior accordingly. Sometimes they act supportive, sometimes they act distant, sometimes they give advice that seems helpful, but carries subtle doubt inside it, and you didn't notice before because it was never obvious, it was never direct, it was always hidden under layers of normal conversation. But now your awareness is rising, now you are beginning to see the cracks, and those cracks, they are not accidents, they are signals that this person is not aligned with your growth, because someone who truly supports you will never create confusion in your path, they will never leave you feeling drained after a conversation, they will never make you question your own direction in subtle ways, and yet this person, they have been doing exactly that, quietly, repeatedly, planting small seeds of doubt, small hesitations, small fears that slowly start affecting your decisions, and you thought those thoughts were your own, you thought that hesitation came from inside you, but now you are starting to realize, some of those thoughts were influenced, some of those doubts were planted. And this is how hidden enemies operate. They don't attack you directly, they don't stand in front of you and challenge you openly, because that would reveal them. Instead they work through influence, through suggestion, through carefully placed words that slowly shift your mindset without you even realizing it. And the most dangerous part is, they remain close to you while doing this, they maintain connection, they keep communication alive, because distance would break their access, and access is what they need the most, access to your thoughts, access to your plans, access to your emotions, because the more they know about you, the more they can influence. And now you must understand something very important. This is where your power returns, because the moment you limit their access, everything changes. The moment you stop sharing every detail, the moment you stop explaining your next move, the moment you become calm, composed, and slightly unpredictable, their entire strategy begins to collapse, because they can no longer read you, they can no longer prepare, they can no longer influence what they cannot see, and this is why silence is your strongest weapon right now, not loud reactions, not emotional confrontations, but controlled silence, because silence creates distance, and distance reveals truth, and as you begin to move in silence, you will notice something very interesting. This person will start reacting differently, they will feel the shift, they will sense that something has changed in you, even if you say nothing, even if you act normal on the surface, they will feel that they are losing access, and when they feel that loss, they will try to regain control. They may become more curious, asking more questions than usual. They may try to reconnect emotionally, reminding you of old bonds, old memories, trying to pull you back into comfort, or they may even act slightly irritated or distant themselves, because they cannot understand why their influence is no longer working the same way, and this is where many people make a mistake. They feel guilty, they feel like they are being cold, they feel like they are changing too much, and they go back to their old patterns, they open up again, they share again, and just like that, they give their power back. But you will not do that anymore, because now you see clearly, now you understand what is at stake, your future, your peace, your growth, and nothing is worth compromising that, not comfort, not familiarity, not old connections that are no longer aligned with who you are becoming, because growth requires separation. Growth requires you to leave behind what no longer matches your energy, even if it once felt close, even if it once felt safe, and this is not about becoming cold or distant from everyone, this is about becoming selective, this is about choosing who truly deserves access to your inner world, and that choice, it must be made with awareness, not emotion, because emotions can be manipulated, but awareness sees through everything, and right now your awareness is your greatest strength. It is guiding you, it is protecting you, it is showing you what was once hidden, and as you continue to follow this awareness, as you continue to observe without reacting, something powerful will happen. The truth will reveal itself completely, not in one dramatic moment, but in small undeniable confirmations, in patterns you cannot ignore anymore, in behaviors that expose the reality of this person's intentions, and when that moment comes, when you finally see them clearly without any doubt, you will not feel anger, you will not feel the need to confront or prove anything, you will feel something much stronger. Detachment, a calm understanding that this person no longer has a place in your inner circle, and that detachment, it is your freedom, because the moment you detach, their influence ends completely, their words lose power, their actions no longer affect you, their presence becomes irrelevant to your path, and you move forward without carrying that hidden weight, without that unseen resistance. And suddenly things begin to flow again, your clarity returns, your confidence strengthens, your decisions become sharper, and you start moving toward your future without interference, without confusion, without doubt. That was never truly yours, and that is when you will realize something that will stay with you forever. Not everyone who stands beside you is meant to walk with you into your future. Some people are only there to test your awareness, to challenge your boundaries, to teach you the importance of protecting your energy, and once that lesson is learned, their role is over, and you must let it end without resistance, without holding on, without trying to fix what was never meant to be permanent, because your journey is evolving, your path is becoming clearer, and the people who are truly aligned with you will never need to hide. They will never need to manipulate. They will never need to speak about your future behind your back. They will stand with you openly. They will support you without confusion. They will respect your silence, your boundaries, your growth, and those are the ones who deserve a place in your life, not the ones who operate in shadows, not the ones who create doubt, not the ones who use your trust as a tool for their own hidden intentions. And now, you are stepping into a new level where such people cannot stay, where such energy cannot survive, because you are no longer unaware, you are no longer open without boundaries, you are no longer easy to influence, you have become aware, selective, and strong in a way that cannot be easily shaken, and this transformation. It is happening right now, in this very moment, as you understand these words, as you connect the dots in your own life, as you begin to see who this message is pointing toward, and you don't need confirmation from anyone else, you don't need proof from outside, because deep inside, you already know, your intuition has already identified the person, your spirit has already felt the truth, and now your mind is finally catching up, finally accepting what your soul has been trying to tell you all along, and this is your turning point, this is where everything changes, this is where you stop ignoring the signs and start acting with clarity, with confidence, with silent strength, and from this moment forward, nothing hidden will be able to control your path again. My beloved child. Now we go even deeper, because awareness alone is not enough, understanding alone is not enough, you must also act with intention, because a hidden enemy talking about your future behind your back thrives on your inaction, thrives on your distraction, thrives on your willingness to assume everything is normal. And that is why they have been able to operate for so long without exposure, but your awareness has now shifted the balance. And this is the moment where strategy becomes your shield, because what you do next will determine not only how much influence they retain but how your life moves forward without interference, and the first step is observation, not confrontation. Do not rush to accuse. Do not rush to expose, because hidden enemies rely on reaction, they rely on chaos, they rely on emotion, and the more visibly upset you appear, the more they feed, the more they gain, the more subtle control they maintain. Instead, you become the calm storm, the silent force, the observer who knows everything but acts as if nothing is happening, and as you watch quietly, you will notice small patterns emerging, small truths revealing themselves in conversations, in behavior, in timing, in the way words are said, in the energy they radiate, all of which are indicators of the hidden intention behind the smiles, behind the encouragement, behind the advice, because everything has energy, everything carries influence. And the subtle energy they put into speaking about your future is designed to affect you indirectly, to create hesitation, to plant seeds of doubt, to slow your progress without you realizing. And the next step is control of information, because what they cannot know, they cannot manipulate, what they cannot access, they cannot distort, what they cannot influence, they cannot corrupt. And this is where boundaries become your superpower, boundaries in thought, boundaries in conversation, boundaries in presence, boundaries in energy, because by simply limiting what you reveal, by simply stepping back from full transparency, you begin to regain authority over your own life, and authority over your own future. And once you establish these boundaries, the hidden enemy starts to reveal themselves even further, because frustration, subtle panic, curiosity, impatience, all start to show in their behavior, small slips, small inconsistencies, small comments that contradict their previous positions, all of which confirm what your intuition has already told you. And at this point, you do not need confrontation. You do not need explanation, you simply let the truth continue to show itself, quietly, undeniably, and every day you stay consistent in protecting your energy, in maintaining awareness, in observing without reacting, you regain more control, because they are only as powerful as the access you give them, and the moment that access is denied, their influence fades, their words lose weight, their hidden plans lose effect, their attempts to shape your reality behind your back fail, and you begin to move freely again, with clarity, with purpose, with alignment to your higher path. And this is the moment where discernment becomes your second superpower, because not everyone around you has your best interest at heart. Not everyone who smiles is genuine. Not everyone who listens is supportive, and this is not paranoia, this is wisdom. This is understanding of human nature, this is seeing the difference between presence and alignment, and you begin to distinguish between those who are aligned with your growth and those who are simply observers, those who are passive participants in your life, and those who are subtly shaping your future without your consent. And as your discernment grows, you begin to prioritize your energy, your time, your focus, because nothing matters more than your path, your purpose, your unfolding, your divine alignment, and the hidden enemy. They can only act as long as you remain unaware, as long as you remain open without boundaries, as long as you allow your energy to be accessible without intention. But now, everything shifts, because awareness plus boundaries plus discernment equals liberation, equals freedom, equals the ability to move in life without the subtle chains of manipulation, without the hidden weight of someone else's intentions dictating your next step. And as you step into this space of power, you will notice something remarkable. Those who are genuine will gravitate naturally toward you. Those who respect your energy will align with your rhythm. Those who are truly part of your journey will no longer require explanations, no longer require manipulation, no longer require testing. And this clarity creates space for real growth, for real progress, for real manifestation of everything you have been striving toward. And the hidden enemy, the one who was quietly speaking about your future, will be reduced to irrelevance. Because what they were feeding on no longer exists, the influence is gone, the access is denied, the subtle control evaporates, and you begin to live without interference, without hidden agendas, without the quiet sabotage that once haunted your path. And this freedom, it is sacred, it is powerful. It is the natural reward of awareness, discernment, and intentional action, and the most important truth of all. The moment you reclaim your energy, the moment you protect your inner world, the moment you step into alignment with your own soul, no hidden enemy, no matter how close, no matter how clever, no matter how manipulative, can dictate your future again, because your future is yours alone. And it is guided by your own choices, your own energy, and your own alignment. And once you understand this, once you live this, the weight of hidden conversations, of secret discussions, of manipulation behind your back, it falls away completely, leaving you free, empowered, and unstoppable in the path that was always meant for you.